Hold on one second. I gotta put Instagram on, girl.
Yeah. Hold on one second.
One.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Let me
Period.
see.
All right, we're live on Instagram.
What's going on, Wigs? What's going on?
Hello, 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 hello.
Girl, you sound about as good as the people that we about to talk about on this.
Girl, no, what you're not getting ready to do is talk about the
Yeah.
incredible mind of Sheldon Larry, honey. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome to No But For Real, honey, the exclusive podcast of yours truly, honey. I am one of your hosts, Joshua Bloke.
And I am one of your other hosts, Tuki Tucker.
All right, and we do have someone who is where our sister girl is running just a tad bit late, but she will be joining in. Her name is Dwayne McBean, honey. What's her name again?
Dwayne McBean.
Oh, okay, yeah. Not
Don't do my mother. Don't do her.
okay. But you all, today we will be discussing or reviewing the legendary Leave It on the Floor. Um, the film is directed and written by Sheldon Larry, and also co-written by Glenn Gaylord, and the music. The incredible music, by the way. As you can tell, I'm a huge fan of this film. I think this is one of the ones that I suggested for the group.
It is.
But the music is by Kimberly Burse, honey. Um, sorry, let me give a brief synopsis about the film before we get into it.
No, we didn't do all this for People Blues, but go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Bro. So, well, first and foremost, hold on, before we even get started with anything, I just want to let everybody know that viewer discretion is advised. We have a lot of cursing. We say a lot of the euphemisms and this thing. Like we get in the paint with it. So if you have a sensitive tummy, a sensitive tummy boo, this might not be the show for you because we're gonna cuss. We're going to, say the things. We're gonna have the innuendos, and we're gonna do all of the things. Um, and also, spoiler alert: we are going to be spoiling the movie. So if you're not a huge fan of spoilers, now's your time to exit. Thank you so much. All right. So, a brief synopsis about the film, honey. The film is a musical. It's lighthearted, fun, and it's a touching story about a young sweetie, um, who gets kicked out and he flees to LA.
What's a sweetie for those that don't know?
Um, hold on. A sweetie, for those of you who don't know, is someone who identifies as queer. Um, honey, a sweetie. I like to use sweetie instead of
Girl,
faggot
I thought
sissy.
you was gonna say. Hold on, one moment.
Ah! Cue Dwayne. Am I too loud? Am I loud?
Just a smidge.
Okay, girl, let me turn this down. Oh, let me just. Or how about instead of
How about
me?
you? How about you calm
How
down?
about I turn myself down, girl? But yes, it follows this young black sweetie, may I add. He gets kicked out. He flees to LA. And on the way, he finds a life of petty thievery that eventually leads him into the ballroom scene, honey, where he seeks his true refuge, honey. Okay.
Someone posted a comment and said, "Are we gonna always talk about gay shit?" No, we're not.
Where? Hold on. Where's that comment in?
They texted to my phone.
Oh, they texted
Yes.
to you. Okay. Okay. Well, let's load it into the assets and see.
Oh, no. So let's get into it, guys. So I'm gonna let you lead the conversation tonight.
Yeah. I know,
Like you
because
said,
you're not a huge super duper fan of the movie. So,
not, and I'll get into it, but
so for those of you who don't know, Tuki is not a huge fan of musicals, even though Tuki has an incredible voice, incredible singing voice. When she's in good voice, she has a great voice. But she's not a huge fan of musicals. So I think that's one of the reasons, amongst probably many more. But we're gonna get into it. Girl, I'm not gonna post that comment, but thank you so much for commenting, Boom. Thanks for finding the time to do that. All right, y'all. So the film opens with this discretion. I know it's really hard to see, but just squint, okay? Put on your glasses and squint. Put those contacts in, sweetie. It is a a little bit of an advisory that this film is dedicated to those the displaced Black queer youth, unfortunately, that many of us have to experience homelessness and poverty and learning to figure things out on our own. But also in this scene, we're introduced into the ballroom culture. Um, Dwayne is actually um, immersed into the ballroom culture herself, honey. So she'll talk more about that when she gets back. I mean, when she gets here. We just want to discuss the opening of the movie now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the film, after the opening ballroom scene, the film opens with Bradley, um, played by I do not want to butcher his name.
Ephraim Sykes.
Thank you. And I love him dearly. But I don't want to butcher his name. Ephraim Sykes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Incredible actor, by the way. And yeah, so his mother is outside that door pacing back and forth, kind of waiting for him to take her around to run errands. She mentions, "Hi, Fire Queen, how you doing?"
Oh, girl, we're gonna spend so much time now. Just a minute.
Girl, I gotta talk to the people, girl.
Girl, you can talk to him later.
Um, Girl, not so much. Mm. So she's pacing back and forth outside the door. She's like, "Girl, Bradley, what are you doing in there, girl? I'm tired of these seizures. I'm not a huge fan of you running around and everything like that either. Of you having to run me around and run errands with me and all of this boo 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 boo." So he's like, "In a minute, in a minute. I'm doing something. I'm doing something." So his mother finally bursts in the room, honey, to find that Bradley is on the computer. And she's like, "Girl, what are you what are you?" She's like, "Girl, what are you doing on this computer anyway? Don't think I don't know the power of the back button, boy." And so she pressed the back button on the PC, honey, and lo and behold, she finds some gay pornography. And I just want to take the time now to ask you, Took,
Yeah.
have, have you ever? Well, first and foremost, I have two questions. Do you watch pornography? And then
Mm,
two, have you ever been caught, quote unquote? Because we know we'll get into that,
mm.
watching pornography.
Did I? Yes. Do I? Yes. Um, not so much so of going to like websites to watch it because Twitter at this point is the place to go, the hub. Have I ever been caught by my parent? No, I've never been caught by a parent. Um, I was caught by a family member, and how I was caught was because I was using their laptop to watch it, and I was like, "Oof, maybe middle school, maybe younger, I don't know, middle school." I got caught by a family member, not in the act of watching it. Maybe like days down the line, their computer got viruses, and so it was like I guess they sent it somewhere to go get it checked out or whatever, and the viruses showed like, oh, it was coming from certain websites, and that's how. Mm.
Well, child. Well, these days it's a little harder to find what we need, honey, when duty calls, when nature calls, because some of those the sites, or at least in Georgia, are blocked here because a lot of these websites were combating the whole age verification thing, and
Mm-hmm.
because back in the day, all you had to do was say, "Girl, are you 18?" And all you had to do was hit yes, girl, whatever, and keep going.
Mind you, I'm
Um,
nine. Mind you, I'm
but
not nine.
but now, but now, it's made into law that you have to do ID verification on all these websites in order to combat that and to keep our privacy private. A lot of these websites just decided not to go forth in whatever.
Right.
And then some of the sites are blocked by location depending on what area you're in.
Do not post every comment, please, especially not those. Come on, Josh.
Girl, I have to give people the shine. Girl, I have to let them know that we see them. Um, Girl, what was I talking about? Anyway, yes. When nature calls, I can find my way to a video or two, girl, maybe a picture or something. Have I been quote unquote caught? Oh, I didn't, girl.
Just
I didn't even
let,
put two and two
let's just
together.
talk. Let's just talk.
But
Talk.
child, girl.
So this is
Hold on,
my
girl. Let me put on my glasses. I can't hear.
thing.
Um,
Hold on, y'all. We'll be back. We're gonna start this live over. Jesus. My
so
question to you is:
uh-huh.
can we please get into the overacting? Already in the opening scene between Mother and Bradley, I don't think we ever caught her name. But yeah, it just felt overacted. It just felt overacted. The dynamic between the mother and the son was just like it just felt. I know in some cases, which is very, very few and far in between, that's the real dynamic between mother and child. But the cussing, the disrespect, it just felt too animated, overly acted. The whole fuck mama you, why you always busting on me? Get off my shit, bitch. Like, girl, I was like,
Yeah.
this is a bit excessive. I just, I get that there was a level of privacy that was being um there was a level
Invaded
of privacy
upon,
that was being invaded by the parent, but at the same time, as my mom would say, there's no privacy in my house, like as long as you live under my roof type of thing.
which I don't believe.
Um, you don't agree with that?
Uh-uh.
How come you
No.
don't?
I think that we, especially as queer youth, Black queer youth specifically, y'all, please understand me when I say this. Happy Black History Month, by the way, even though every day is Black History. Take a good look around. Um, do we have to have some sort of release, some sort of outlet, a diary, a journal, something? And I don't think that, where we can be completely unfiltered because,
Mhm.
time you mentioned that, hey, mom, I think I may be a little depressed. Girl, we're gonna get a Bible thrown in our face. We're gonna get told, no, you're not depressed. You just need to get up and, you need to, muddle through it. You got it. You can do whatever. And I understand that they may think that that's encouraging, but sometimes we just need people to listen, specifically our Black parents who, had their Black parents probably do the same thing to them.
But we're talking about privacy here.
Well, when it comes to, I guess, someone going through puberty, I think it's important that, we let people go through puberty.
Okay, I may have missed. I think I'm confused now. So the mother came in on Bradley, jumped to the PC, and found the porn. So I'm just putting myself in the shoes of, you know what? There's no point in hiding this because again, it is my mama house. She probably is, no, not probably. She is paying the
Wait,
bill.
so are you speaking on hiding the pornography or are you speaking on hiding the fact that he's gay?
I'm just speaking on. I haven't even
Hey,
gotten to that
Ronald.
yet. I'm just talking about privacy across the board.
Okay.
Privacy.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
some instances, I can see that where it's like, girl, ain't no privacy in my house. Like, if you're
Because I'm
trying,
imagining the white family. It's like, Mom, get out of my room. Like, I'm imagining that. And then, like, in a black family, it's like, Mom, what room? I would take the hinges off these
right?
doors. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. I'm of, and I guess because I kind of grew up in that, I'm of the belief like niece, as long as I am in her house, it is her rules. Even so much so like
Yeah.
I will be grown. I'm grown, and I would go to my mama house. There's still things that I'm like, oh, I just would not do because I mean it's her house. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
My mom
I
is
agree
at
with
her
that.
grown age to go to my grandmother's house. There's just things she would not do because it's my grandmother's house. So I feel like you're right. It's your house, and I have to respect that. There is no privacy in here.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I think it depends on what exactly it is, but I definitely agree with that point. But I
mm,
want to go back and speak on your point about the overacting.
mm.
Um, Musicals in general, especially if they're meant to be adapted on stage, and maybe, this was supposed to be maybe a sort of a sizzle reel, you will, even though it's, like I said, I enjoy the film. I think it's legendary. I think it's iconic. I think it's a piece of art. And I love it. Um, However, a lot of the acting when it comes to musicals and theater is going to be exaggerated. So that's why you see all of that, that extra, because they have to get the point across. You know what I mean? And it's
Well,
very,
I just learned recently that Dreamgirls is a musical.
yes, girl.
There's no overacting there aside from Beyonce trying to act.
Well, it depends on who directs everything. You know what I mean? But okay, so the difference between that is this is a film that is meant to be a musical. Dreamgirls is a musical that they adapted into a film.
Oh, okay.
You see? So
Mhm.
that's why the acting may be a little, well, you know, better than that of your traditional musical that starts out as a film.
Got you. I'm with you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh shit, there was something else I wanted to say. No, no, no. I think that's it. So after she discovers that he's watching, you know, the hottest the hottest in the gay pornography on the
Oh,
computer, honey.
that's what I was gonna say. Go
Yes.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Oh, I was gonna say that she kicks him out. She says, "Get the fuck out of my house."
Okay, and that segues to what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So I just okay. Let's put a pin here. I know we got a lot to get through, but I guess I'm just like, you see that he's watching porn. You see that he's watching presumably gay porn.
Yes.
We automatically kick him out. What if he was watching straight porn? What would the difference have been?
If you want my honest opinion, I feel like if she was to walk in and see him watching straight porn instead of gay porn, I feel like she would have said, "Okay, well, boy, I'll be right back. Just, hurry up and finish what you're doing."
Because, and then my next thing was, you automatically kicked him out. There was no conversation to be had about just anything. Like, how long have you been watching this? How long have you been feeling this? Just there was no dialogue whatsoever. So I guess it leaves it open to interpretation that maybe this have been a reoccurring thing. You know what I mean? A reoccurring thing between them. Or the mother also gave, she was very young too. And again, it
Yes.
probably came down to
Yep.
character selection or actor selection. But she also seemed pretty young herself. So I'm like, this it just felt weird. And I'm gonna be honest, no shade. I low key wanted this sounds so terrible and so traumatic, but I low key wanted my mom to discover something and for her to kick me out, because I grew up watching shows where the child will be gay, and that's just what happens. They get kicked out, which is why, or not. Let me not say why, but which is how, in part, you have the houses when it comes to ballroom scene, like this family of people, your chosen family. You go to these families or whatever, because you're kicked out or you're abandoned or you're ostracized or whatever from your biological family. You now are able to find shelter, find refuge in your chosen family.
Mhm.
I low key wanted it.
Wait, so you're saying you desired that, not you expected that?
I know I didn't expect it because my mama wasn't going to do it. She
But
wasn't that type of mama.
so you wanted that to
I
happen
wanted her to kick me out.
only,
Yes.
but only for the sake of ballroom culture. Hi, Jackie.
No, I wanted her to kick me out because, again, that's just what I
Hi,
seen,
Nisha.
and
Thank
a
you so
lot of
much.
it didn't have a lot of it. A lot of it did not have anything to do with ballroom. It was just like they would be kicked out and they would be almost forced to try to figure out life. So it could have been ballroom. It could have been going to your uncle or aunt. So it could have just been whatever. You're just not in that household. So I just low key wanted to be kicked out. Child. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Chad, well, you could just walk out of the house. You don't have to be kicked out for that.
Well, I did do that. I did that my senior year of high school. It was so much going on. It was so much going on. And here I was. I was like, Mama, I'm about to just go. So I packed my other things. And she was like, well, if you're going to leave my house, you're not going to take anything that I pay for. So I
And what's up with that? Like, it's like if you want the not the stick with the bag on it.
yeah.
If you want the best for your children, you love your children. They say all of this stuff and they talk about the Bible so much. Why are you trying to make life so much harder for them
Right.
when you already know how cruel the world is going to be, especially to a sweetie girl? So wait, where we at? Oh yeah, so that's what I was gonna ask. Why? Not ask. Ask if why do parents kick the kids out? I don't. I just.
I don't
I'm
know.
trying to think of. I'm trying to think of a valid reason that I could give for that, but I can't think of one.
I don't know. I think it's shame. I think it's guilt. I think it's remorse. I
And when you
think it's
say
a lot
shame, are you talking about embarrassment from other family members or from the public or society or?
from all of that. Yes. Um, I think it has a lot to do with all of those things. And I think I don't know. For me, again, you can't raise a child to be a certain sexuality. But what you can do is raise your child to be a great person, or at least a decent person.
Hi,
And
Jackie.
I wish more people, I wish more people would understand that. Like, yeah, let's continue.
Okay, honey. Well, after he gets kicked out, he immediately grabs his thing, just like you grabbed that bag, girl, and immediately takes her car keys, honey, that he was about to use to go drive her around and do errands all day, and he steals that car
He wanted to go to jail.
to flee to Los Angeles, honey. So what am I doing? Okay, so this is when we're introduced to the title, not the title track, but the first song, "Losers List." Um, Again, I just love all of the music in this movie, in this film. Obviously, this is YouTube, y'all. We can't play the songs on here, but definitely check out the film. And just listen to all of the music, the lyrics, the singing. I think the singing is great. The audio was great. The sound engineer did a great job, I think, in my opinion, on the songs. Um, but yeah, so he's homeless. He's doing petty theft. He's digging through trash for food. He's selling stolen jewelry. Just getting it out of the mud. Just trying to do what he can to stay afloat. So the very next scene, we're introduced to Carter, and they lock eyes before. Oh, sorry, he's sitting outside of the convenience store, and they lock eyes before Carter walks in. And I presumed Carter to be non-binary. I guess it's a little bit up to interpretation. I think they make a point to say he though in the film, because boys can be pretty, and just because a boy is pretty does not mean he has to identify as she or identify as they them in their everyday life. Maybe in the ballroom culture or in drag, you know what I mean? But or like just our lingo when we say, "Oh, girl, our sister," or whatever, boo boo boo. But I think they try to make a point of, pretty boys can identify as men. Pretty men are pretty. They can still identify as men. So essentially Bradley follows Carter into the convenience store. And they're locking eyes, they're eye fucking each other pretty much. And when Bradley turns to look at a piece of merchandise that's on one of the things, pretty much just perusing like he not really looking at Carter, girl. But Carter takes the opportunity to go ahead and snatch Bradley's wallet. And then when Carter is doing the same thing, not paying attention, Bradley takes that as an opportunity to
Can
snatch.
you show? Can you show us Carter, please? Because you're
Oh,
talking.
I apologize. I apologize, everyone. Oh my gosh, sorry, girl. I was into the movie. Um, Sorry. So this is Carter, everyone. So that's sort of like what I was talking about. Um, and that moment where Carter looks away, Carter is in the blue over here in the right. Bradley takes it upon himself to snatch Carter's wallet. And both of them don't know that they just pretty much robbed each other. Um, you know, and he doesn't find out until he goes to pay for his things, and he notices that he doesn't have his wallet, but he has Carter's wallet that he used to pay for, to purchase his goods that he received from the convenience store. Have you ever stolen anything?
Yes,
Uh, Now what?
girl. Mine was petty theft. I stole like gum, um, from a person or from a place.
Either or. Oh well, don't incriminate yourself.
Girl,
But
this is past the
statute.
limitation. Girl, it's past that. Girl, we passed that. No, it was more or less. I took a few dollars, from like my mama's purse because I needed it and I knew she was gonna say no, or like I took some gum.
Child, how old were you?
I was in middle school.
Mm. I remember my first time stealing something. I was with my grandpa and my older brother, and he handed me a pack of gum, and he said, "Here you go." And I was like trying to put it on the conveyor belt. He said, "No, grandpa already paid for it." And I said, "Okay." And when we got back in the car, we were chewing bubble gum, and he's like, where the hell y'all get gum from? And
Mm.
I was like, you gave it to us. And, we had the pack of gum in our hands. And he's like, y'all finna go to jail. Just trying to scare us to not do it again.
Mm.
And obviously, in my 5-year-old mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. But that time, and then obviously, girl, when I was in college, so not too long ago, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Everybody hits up that self checkout, girl, and it was from Walmart, mind you. So, girl, please, girl, I faithfully gathered that Walmart girl, and girl, I showed one of my good girlfriends the way, and girl, she almost got caught up, girl. That it was a superhero employee girl, a Walmart
Mm-mm.
super employee girl hanging on the wall. Gonna talk about some. Ma'am, are you gonna scan all that stuff that's up under the bag? Since I didn't see you scan that. And she was like, oh, and then I'm quick on my figure. I said, oh, we're doing separate transactions. Okay. Yeah, mind your business, girl.
Girl, now she was a super worker.
Girl, I can't stand people who do that. Just let them steal, girl. Clearly they need it. Um, so anyway, after he realizes his wallet is gone, he tries to follow Carter to chase him down a little bit to just, I guess, shake him up, rough him up, or whatever else they're gonna do. And Carter leads him to this underground scene, this club, bar, this event venue where it's an active ball going on, girl. They're having a ball, girl. They're in the middle of a category, and Bradley walks in, and he's immediately enamored by what he's seeing. He's seeing the dancing, the MC on the mic. Speaking of ballroom, hello, Diva. Oh, hold
Can
on, y'all.
you
See me? What happened? All right, there I am.
Hello, Diva.
Hello, how y'all feeling?
Marvelous. How are you doing?
Good, good. I just got in for work. It's cold out there, ho. It's cold out there. But
Well,
I
it's
am
so
so
nice to
excited to
see
see you. First of all,
you.
color that. First of all, Josh, that color looks great on you.
Thank you.
Your
That color
skin is
looks great on
glowing.
you.
Oh, thank you. You know, green for money, green for not enough money.
I'll
Okay,
come
Okay.
really
I'll
pretty.
come
Tuki,
I'll
she's in
come
her silk, honey.
I'll come back when y'all finish.
No, no, Tuki, she's in her silk, honey. You know, she has on a nice garment, honey. It's silk, it's purple, it's green, it's
Okay.
oh, baby, it's
That's a trade
designer,
set,
honey.
honey. You see that hat
Hey,
on?
hey, she's in designer
Come
today.
on, trucker trade.
Ah!
Tuki trucker trade, honey.
Right, trucker trade, honey. She's giving you,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Straight
saying?
out of
She's giving
straight out of
you.
Taiwan.
Yeah, she's giving you love you long time realness, honey. Love
Yes.
you long time trade realness, the North Carolina version.
Dwayne, you joined at the perfect time because we're
Oh my
talking
goodness.
about we're still at the beginning. Surprise,
Okay,
surprise.
good, 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 good. All right,
But
all right.
um
Here we go. Here
this
we
is
go.
when Bradley walks into the ballroom scene, and I wanted you to give us a little insight because you're aren't you like a mother or something of a house?
He said, "Mother." So I am in a ballroom scene. If you look at my name, I have X in not parentheses, quotation marks. So my ballroom name is X. Simple as that. Just literally the letter X. And so it was inspired by Malcolm X. Obviously the glasses, just the kind of everything that he represented. I kind of want to emulate, right? And so came in the scene and was like, okay, how about X? We were like trying to figure out different names, and oh no, this person has this name, that person has a name. So I came up with X. So I'm literally just X.
Period.
And
Happy Black
I
History
am
Month.
X of the house of Daniel Luna. And so it's a fairly new house. We actually just celebrated our second year as a fully formed house. So that was off the chain. We went to Orlando, Florida, and just had a great time, and just kind of got away from the snow on the northeast side for our viewers on the northeast. Uh, and yeah, it was great. So I'm excited to talk about this film with you guys and give a little bit of my experience as part of the ballroom scene. So
Yeah, so you can you I don't I guess when was your last ball? Can you like talk to us like we've never been to a ball before. Like, what do we expect from this? Because I want people to feel how Bradley felt when he walked in that room
Oh
seeing it
my
for the first time.
goodness. I got PTSD rewatching this film. Because it's so much like how you see it. I walk both sex siren and body. And so it your first ball, you're so nervous. My first ball it was in February of 2025. It was the Omega House of Omega ball, which was a huge one, huge one. I remember they rented out like some huge venue and it was packed. And so you're nervous, you walk in, you gotta pay. So even if you're walking, you still have to pay to get in, right? Like
Mhm.
I remember coming like, I'm walking the ball. They're like, okay, so it's 25 to get in. I'm like, oh shit. So even if you're walking, you still have to pay to get in. And I remember the like I said, the ball was huge. And I remember they had two rooms. So they had room A and room B. And so there were so many categories that they split certain categories into like a room A, and then they split certain categories into a room B.
Mhm.
But it is so much like you've seen in the film, the nervousness, the anticipation, the flirting, right? Because I'm walking around with a G-string on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, walking around with my goodies out because I'm preparing to walk. My team, like, they're oiling my body. They're like, okay. But oh god, it's the chops for me.
Yeah. Oh,
When you're one,
uh-oh.
mm-hmm.
Not the chops. I've never been to a ball before. Tiki, have you ever been to a ball?
Y'all have to go. Come
Never
on, y'all
been.
have to go, especially in Atlanta.
Well, you need. I know. Look, I know. And there was a pageant last night here. I don't know if it was necessarily like a ball. I think that's something different. But I don't know. I was this. Hold on, as Tuki said, I was this close to going, but I just didn't have the energy. I was just like,
Right, I
damn.
feel you. We are some working bitches, and it really is something like that. Actually, they just celebrated. We just had a ball here in New York. It wasn't like an awards ball, so people were like deemed legend, and we'll get into that later. What it means to
Mhm.
be deemed legend. But I've actually talked to Tuki about balls and stuff like that because I wanted Tuki to
Oh,
like start designing some
Tuki loves
outfits,
the ball.
start designing concepts and looks because with the ball, it's literally the cosplayers like paradise, right? Cosplay's paradise, or like people that like costumes. Because remember, each ball has a theme, right? Unless it's
Right.
OTA. So if you see OTA, that means open to all. You bring it OTA runway. Bring what you got.
And you
But
all and he, oh my god, oh, this is so exciting.
no,
So
there's so many questions. No, go
in
ahead.
ballroom, there's also like certain categories, like Dwayne was saying, he rocks, okay? All right. He
Come on now.
walks sex siren and body. Dwayne, just go ahead and
Well, no,
just show us
I
a
want
little.
us
And I
to.
just
Well, I'm excited. I want us to have a structured conversation.
right. Okay.
So we'll get back to let's get back to the film, and we'll
Okay.
do it at the end.
So Bradley walks in, he's immediately enamored with the ballroom scene.
Yes.
He's listening, he's kind of looking in awe and all of that. And Prince, now we're introduced to my personal favorite character.
Oh,
Hold on, let me find her, honey. Princess.
oh my goodness. You
So
like her? Oh,
we're introduced to Princess, played by Philip Evelyn, who gives Bradley pretty much like the 411, the whole rundown. He's like, these are the houses. That house is over there. That house is that. And then we're introduced to the illustrious. Okay, there go that word. We're
yeah.
introduced to the illustrious house of eminence, honey. And for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, eminence just means a position of high rank, superior status, honey, distinguished fame.
Mhm.
That's what eminence stands for. And we later realized that it's kind of ironic because Miss Queen Latifah, who is the mother of that house, hasn't walked in years. And, they don't really get that many trophies or many accolades as far as, the ballroom culture goes and like the contests and all of that. Um, yeah. Oh, and Queen Latifah is Queen Latina is played by Barbecue.
Mhm.
Okay. Anybody have anything to say about that
Yeah, so
scene or
we
whatever?
see this kind of connection between Bradley and Princess, and to me, it comes off a little bit like predatory. We see Carter and bad boy Brad kind of, what is it when you take from somebody's back pocket? Not it's not what is it called?
Pickpocket. Pickpocket.
Pickpocket. Yeah, you see them kind of pickpocket. So he like follows him to this ball. And like you said, he's immediately enamored. He's in the space. He's wondering what this is. And the princess comes over and is like very sultry and like very, and I'm like, oh, this bitch. But one thing that we notice, we're seeing people perform and we're seeing the chops, right? So we're seeing the chops. People are, no, chop, chop, chop. Whew.
But
That's
as Princess is flirting, Bradley isn't rejecting Princess. Bradley is flirting back.
You
The
think
way
so?
they're giving each other googly eyes, looking at each other up and down. Princess
I
can't
don't
help that she is
know.
Skyrim, boo. She just
I
can't
don't
help
know. Tiki,
that.
what are your thoughts, girl? Chime in. What are your thoughts?
I didn't. Girl, I'm a bit disconnected because again, this was a terrible movie. So
Oh
I'm
my
just
God,
really,
no, it wasn't.
I'm just here to add to where I can, where I really can. Girl, and I keep looking at my notebook trying to see did I take a note on that? I didn't.
Oh Lord.
But no, I don't
Sorry,
think
Sheldon.
I don't think no, I'm gonna get on Miss Sheldon too. I can't wait to get to the end.
Wait a minute.
I don't think Bradley was flirting back with Princess. I think Bradley was truly enamored with one seeing Carter, and then two being like lured into the ball. So like that was another thing. I didn't really pick up on Bradley flirting back with Princess. And then quiet as a skip, I didn't even see Princess flirting with Bradley. I do agree with Dwayne about being almost predatory. It's almost like, okay, we see fresh meat here. Let me get on to that.
Right.
Been there, done that. I think Bradley was. I'm assuming, I don't know, but I think Bradley was con enough to know, like, oh, okay, I see what you want, type of thing. So that's why I don't think he was really flirting, in my opinion.
Well, remember, we saw Bradley get kicked out, or displaced rather, because kicked out could be a triggering word for some viewers. But we see him get displaced, and so in my mind, I kind of felt like Bradley he was in it for survival. Remember, one of the first questions he asked was, "Does this place have a bed?" Right? Or what did he say? Does this house have a bed?
Right.
Well, we didn't get that far yet.
Okay.
Here.
Right, but we're seeing. I'm just going to back up a little bit, but we saw him get displaced. He had that, confrontation with his mom. And just really quickly, because I know I'm late to the party. What did you guys think of that spiel? Between him and his mom, that whole thing.
Oh, we got into it. Well, we definitely got into it. Just for the sake of time, cliff notes are. We talked about how.
It was overacted. I felt
Well,
like
no, we're going to talk about the technicality of the film. We're talking about like the situation of
He hates this movie, bro.
It's just we came to the conclusion that we just didn't understand why parents kick their children out specifically just with merely only because they're gay or they're queer or trans or that was
and to add to that, my whole thing was playing devil's advocate with what would the difference have been if he was watching straight porn? Like, would he have still gotten kicked out because he was watching porn nonetheless, or like what would have been the difference?
I don't think so, because she said, I'm not gonna have this gay shit in my house.
Yes, she did. You know
with
what?
a hard shuh.
My thing was with that scene, and we're gonna move on. My thing with that was, do we feel like Bradley kind of exacerbated the issue? Like he called her a bitch, told her, "Get off my shit, bitch."
Yeah.
Like for me, it was just so different from what I envisioned. That kind of outing to take place, because he was very like right off the bat, like, "Get off my shit, bitch. Why you on me?" And I'm just like, I felt like he was more kicked out for that than anything else.
I think the
language was, "Why you always busting on me? Get off my shit, bitch."
Right.
I think the director was trying to, because like I said, I was explaining to you, this is a musical, so they are trying to exaggerate the scenes to get the point across, and to get the point across of Bradley being defensive and sort of just being enclosed instead of actually addressing the issue and having the conversation with his mother. I mean, she was sort of doing the same thing.
And
So
I want to be very clear here, and then let's move on.
mhm,
He did not come out, by the way.
right,
He did not come out.
right.
And I just want people to know and understand, just because you find weed in my pocket don't mean I'm a smoker. So
Uh-oh.
that bothered me a little bit too. Just
And you can
because
also smoke one time and not be a
and not be
smoker.
a smoker.
Okay. Now, if you rolling
Now
up
you
every day, every
girl,
hour, and you still say I'm not a
girl,
smoker,
you're
but
making it a hobby,
I
girl.
literally just seen you smoke 8 blunts.
Girl,
I I I think we can say you're a smoker now.
girl,
Or you're just you. Maybe you're
if,
just you.
if you eat broccoli for the first time, girl.
Or maybe you're just you. You know, they love saying, I'm just me. I'm just me.
Okay, so wait, so let's get into this. So we're at the ball because while we're there, we do see that Carter is performing, and she goes up
It's
against.
true.
I think it was the face category. I can't remember the categories, girl,
I think it
but
was
I think she was going up
realness.
against. It might have been. I don't know,
Mhm.
but she was going up against my girl, Miss Haley Sahara, but then Miss Haley Weaver.
Mhm.
Um, and so we noticed that Haley wins. Haley wins. And so the question that I wanted to pose here was, you know, is colorism in competition still a thing? Like, are we are we
Mhm.
winning because? And then where is Dwayne? Because this is why I needed his
Yeah.
input on.
I think he's coming back. He's having a little technical difficulties.
Okay,
Um,
Be-
oh, go
and I
ahead.
say this because more recently,
Mhm.
oh God, and I want to say it was the coldest winter ever ball. Maybe it was 2024 because we just got 2026, so it was 2024's ball. Um,
1 second. We're lagging. One
we're
second.
lagging.
1 second. Hold for technical. Hold for technical. Everybody, we are live. This happens on a live show. Everyone, please bear with us. All right. Hello.
A B
Okay.
C D
You're
E F.
We're back.
Okay, so I know it was at one of the balls, and let me not be too specific because I don't want to be wrong, but there was a ball that happened in New York where one of the girls, one of the trans girls, she felt that because she was of a darker skin complexion, they went with who was lighter, and this was a face category. This was a face category. And so in this category, from what I grew up to know what the face category to be, it was about the structure, it was about the skin, it was about the nose, it was about the teeth, it was about
Hmm.
the eyes. It was, and when I say skin, I'm not talking about color. I'm
I
talking about like
understand.
acne. Girl,
Yes.
for those who don't know, I'm not talking about like the color of your skin. I'm talking about the acne, the pores, all of that. And back then, the girl was they was washed face. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a whole lot of makeup and stuff carrying on, so it really came down to those specificities. There we go, specificities.
Yes, honey.
But now it's like, girl, the mug still mugs, but then all of the makeup and everything. I would just be curious to know, like,
Deep it
do
down.
we think Miss Mama's won because she was of a lighter skin complexion?
Now, the way I'm looking, maybe Dwayne can talk about this a
That's a
little bit
good point.
more, but just looking at the scene, Miss Mamas was not serving. Carter was not serving compared to
Well, quiet as it's
the
kept,
scene.
nobody was serving in
Right,
this
but out of the two,
in this
Miss
movie.
Thing, there was a clear winner. Like, I don't think that had anything to do with, you know, her skin complexion versus hers. Not saying that that doesn't happen, but in this particular instance, no, honey, because girl, it was like it was given very much. Girl, are you playing dress up? Like you look like you wearing your grandma's clothes, like And the other girl was just serving, honey. But Dwayne, does that happen? I don't. Maybe
Well,
you can speak a little more about. Oh, holding for technical. Sorry, go ahead.
can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
My bad. Deep it down, bro. I done plugged the damn laptop and the shit just turned off. Um, no, so Tuki touched on a point of colorism. This is something that's been hotly debated in the ballroom community because it's something that definitely exists, right? So you have your preference for lighter skin. Um, sometimes just in those spaces, and that's why unfortunately, quiet as it's kept, ballroom can get violent because you know mind you, when we were introduced to Carter on the runway, right? When we were introduced to him, obviously we saw him at the convenience store, but on the runway, when we see him in this category, he's in dress up, like he's in a garment. You have to pay for this garment, right? So a lot of times people spend hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars for a look. Now the competitiveness comes in because you could have 10 judges on a panel and all 9 of them could be like, yes, all 9 of them could give you 10s. If that one person on the end goes chop, you're done. And we've seen it in ballroom where people get chopped for the politics. Oh, I don't like her chop. You know what I'm saying? And I've literally heard it go, oh, that bitch chopped me last time she was a judge, so now I'm going to chop her now that I'm a judge, right? Because when it comes to people on the panel, generally you're supposed to have legends, right? You're supposed to have legends and seniors. When I say seniors, you're supposed to have people that have made a name for themselves in the community, right? Those are the people that are, the judges generally. So you can't just like me, I can't just go up there and be a judge. I'm not deemed yet. I haven't worked hard enough. I haven't been in the scene long enough to be a judge. So when you think of a judge, you think of a well-established person in that environment. Unfortunately, even with that, sometimes professionalism lacks. Sometimes there is house biases. Oh, I don't like the father of that house. I don't like the mother of that house. So I am going to chop, their kids, right? Their kids being, obviously the people that walk, part of a family. So I'm sure we talked about how, the idea of the house and ballroom, spelled HAUSE, kind of emulates the familial, house, the mother, father, whatever the case may be. So when you hear somebody say kids, oh, that's the kids of that house, it just means the members, and obviously not the senior members. The senior members are your father, your mother. Sometimes they'll have godfather of the house, godmother of the house, X, Y, and Z. So it works in that structure.
How did your mom find you, Dwayne?
Colorism is something. Actually, the father of the house, shout out Bugs, Bugs of Daniel Luna, shout out Bugs of Daniel Luna. He actually reached out to me on social media. And
hold on.
listen,
Let me,
I'm playing.
hold on 1 second, Dwayne. Did you share this live with your members? Because I need them to be tuned in.
Girl, no, I did. I just got in, girl. I did not share the house with the members, girl. So I'm gonna have to
shouting these hoes out. You need to send them the link and tell them to subscribe and like. Hell.
Yeah, I know.
Just send them the YouTube channel. It'll be on there.
No, for real, no, definitely. And it's so funny because I'm watching the movie and I'm going, damn, this would have been a great family night. Just for us to watch the movie and kind of compare our experiences as well. But I'll definitely do that. And maybe we can have them on the show, or if we obviously talk about something else.
Yeah, this is gonna have to be a 2-parter. We already discussed it, so for part 2, definitely.
So colorism. Oh, well, one thing at a time. So
hold on. Can I just something? You cut me off. Now just blank.
Wait a minute, hold on, girl. I'm excited. Wait a minute.
Time you cut me off, hold on. I let it slide. This time, don't cut me off when I'm talking.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, my ops.
Nah, it was me waiting for the link to be sent in his group chat. But go ahead.
Look, and that's why I was like,
No, girl.
Yeah, talk about colorism. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so colorism does exist, and that's what's so unfortunate about ballroom, because it's colorism. Sometimes it's biases. I don't like that. Like I said, I don't like the mother of that house. I don't like the father, and it's hurtful because, like I said, kids, whoever's walking, these are expensive looks. I've paid hundreds of dollars, $300, $400 on looks just to get chopped. Now, mind you, if you get chopped, you walk away with nothing, right? So now I got a custom made, G-string that, maybe I could wear to the beach or something, but you know what I'm saying? Like I just spent X, Y, and Z for whatever, the category calls for. And it is what it is. So colorism definitely exists. In that battle, Carter lost though. Carter did not serve it.
Agreed.
Carter did not serve it. Carter did not serve it in any of the battles, and we'll get to his other battle later, but I don't know. Carter just didn't serve it.
And so that performance between Carter and Miss Haley, that was happening simultaneously with the point that you just made about, um, what's his name, Bradley, asking Princess, about this. Does this house come with the bed or a place to stay, or so on and so forth? Um, I don't know
Right.
if we've is that do we have
Yeah,
that?
we're there. We're there.
Okay. Because so then I wrote down. Here's my question. I would be curious to know if having sex for a place to stay was a huge thing, and is it still in existence today?
Absolutely. In general or just in ballroom culture?
Across the board.
I think it's across the board. I mean, I can't speak specifically about ballroom culture again, y'all. I've never been in the house. Although I've had a gay mother before, but
You can have a gay mother and not be in ballroom.
right, yeah, I've had a gay mother before, and whatever. But as far as people sleeping with other people for a place to stay, absolutely, that's happened to me. I
Hmm.
think someone absolutely took advantage of the opportunity that, you know, I mean, that wasn't the arrangement. Like I wasn't saying if you do this, then I'll do this for you. But essentially, I think he was a hobosexual. I think, okay.
Uh-oh.
For those of you who don't know, a hobo. So I didn't say homosexual. I didn't say homosexual. I said hobosexual. And for those of you who don't know, a hobosexual is a sleazy motherfucker who sleeps around with
Uh-oh.
people and is attracted to people who tend to be um they handle the responsibilities. They have the car, they have the apartment or the house or the condo or whatever, and they see that and they're like, let me try to wine and dine this independent ass bitch and see what I can get from her. That's what a homosexual is for y'all who don't know. But uh, girl, if she leaves this live one more time, girl.
Girl, I brought her down because she froze. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Um, but yeah, so yes, I have dealt with that personally, and the way that it ended, how I found out, I was looking through the text messages. Not no, sorry. Yes, I looked through his text messages because his phone was unlocked one day, and it was buzzing. It was buzzing off the handle, honey, and excuse me. And I was like, girl, who is blowing his phone up? So of course, I looked at the. I don't encourage people to do this now unless you're ready to end it. Um, I was like, girl, who is this? So I see the text messages. They're going back and forth. And I see the text message that says, yeah, my roommate is tripping. And my roommate this, my roommate that. And I'm like, when did he get a roommate? When did he get a place to stay? Because he living with me. Who's his roommate?
I'm crying.
Girl, mind you, this person that he's talking to had just left my house. We
Mm.
were all playing cards with his other friend. I thought they were together.
Girl, if you tick that tongue in that mic one more time,
She like,
girl, that is so loud.
I
wait a minute.
think
So this
mm,
was a person that you were seeing. Were you active with that person? Were you sleeping with that person?
we were in a relationship, yes, and we were
Okay.
fucking. We
Oh,
were fucking very vigorously. We were fucking, fucking.
now wait a
Yes,
minute. So he was staying there rent free.
not necessarily. He would try to do other things to compensate, but obviously, I was carrying the weight of the financial responsibilities. I mean, because he did
You're
have
an
his own.
independent woman, girl.
Okay, always will be. Um, um,
Yes.
he had his own job and everything. So he would, give, when he could or if he could, and But I just said whatever. Anyway, so I found the text message, and I was like, you need to find somewhere else to stay. I'll give you, your 30 days. Consider this your 30 days notice, and I'll save the rest of the story for another time for the second time.
Well,
But
I'm glad it worked out in at least in your favor, because here in New York, if you let somebody stay with you for 30 days, you cannot kick them out.
like
You
ever,
have,
like not even give them a notice.
you have to take them to court.
Because
It's
it's like
called
squatter.
yeah, squatter rights, right? So if somebody stays with you for 30 days, he could have been like, "Listen, I'm not going nowhere. It's been 30 days, bitch." And if even if you wanted to, say he went out to the store or whatever, and you changed the locks, you would legally have to give him a key. Like, you would not be able to displace him after he stayed with you for 30 days.
If I want you to leave my home, you're leaving my home. That's all
Well,
I'm gonna say about that.
listen, I'm just like I said, I'm just glad that it kind of ended, the way it did. Obviously, you're safe and well. But girl, these cats are dangerous, honey. These
Because
cats
it,
are
it,
dangerous.
would-
So
it would most
what did
des-
you learn from that though?
it would most definitely be given. I guess your mama never told you that what goes around comes back around. Girl.
Okay, wait. So what did you learn from that experience?
I learned from that experience. Hi, Black. I learned from that experience that niggas ain't shit and they never will be.
Ooh. So are you jaded? That sounds like you're jaded, maybe.
No, my name is Joshua. But I think I'm just very aware of what's going on. That's it. That's all. I play the game now. I'm in the field. Put me in, coach.
So one of the things that I love about the ballroom community, and one of the things that this movie highlighted really well, um, is the fact that as far as Tuki's question is concerned, uh, you do come together as a family. And yes, when you are displaced from your you know blood family, your bloodline, the community that you form within ballroom is supposed to uplift you, right? And so we see, obviously, the mother of the house, she has this house and has all these bunk beds, and the kids, the members, get to stay there. And so I think it beautifully touched on the real life aspect of what it's like to be displaced or homeless in the ballroom scene. And even in the move at the beginning, it had the quote. Remember the quote? I'm sure you guys mentioned it,
Yes, we
right?
talked about it.
Yeah, we had the quote. This is for everybody that. And so, yeah, I think that's exactly what happens. And so we see Bad Boy Brad. We see him go, oh wow, this is my opportunity to be housed again, and
Right.
where we can
So
go. But let's continue with the
right.
movie. So where are we
So
now?
so as he asked, where does this house have a bed? Princess says, yeah, girl, absolutely. So they pretty much leave the club, girl. They leave the scene, girl, and they walk back to the house of Eminence, like the literal building, the house where Eminence lies, honey. So
Hello.
this is the residence where most of the kids who don't really have anywhere to go are staying with the mother, Queen Flatina. So yeah, so Princess and Bradley have pretty much talked about hooking up. So Princess leads Bradley into the room with the with two other members sharing a bunk bed, Miss Thing. And we're introduced now to Duke, played by Cameron Koa, and Epidural, who was a key,
Hello.
played by James Alsop. So yes, thank you for putting it up. Um yes, so and Bradley kind of hesitates, like, "Are you sure about this? It's literally two niggas right here." And Princess is like, "Yeah, it's fine. Do you not want a warm body up next to you, boy?" How do y'all feel about having sex with someone else in the room, or if you have a roommate, or like, do y'all talk about like, oh, y'all say, "Hey, I'm getting ready to have sex," like how what are you like? What's the whole dynamic with that?
I've only had one roommate, and that was you, Jim. And
No, we.
I
Girl, do
began.
you remember our arrangement?
What was the arrangement?
What was the arrangement?
We would just let each other know.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
what
because
I thought there was something specific. I'm like, what was the arrangement?
no, girl, we would just let each other know, like, girl, this is
Like,
gonna
I hope
go
you're one
down.
welcome to this girl.
And when we say roommates, we were literally roommates. Like we were sharing a room in a closet in in Rush Hall dormitory facilities.
You are
You know,
foolish.
it's generally you
Wait,
should give
sorry, I
each
want to say wait. There so Tuki, for those of you who don't know, is girl, she's gonna give it to you. So sometimes Tuki likes to wear hair, or at least back then. When I tell you there's a little bit of an echo. Some of the boys will walk in and they would be like, "You dress up," and I used to be like, I'd be like, "No, that's my roommate stuff." Look, girl, I had to secure the trade. I was like, "No, I'm not that gay." No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But I was just like, "No, that's my roommate stuff." So nigga, you fucking me or what? Like you worried about everything else. Um, sorry, I just wanted to say that.
You are foolish.
You are stupid. Sometimes Trey likes that. Trey likes to dress up. Trey likes the whole, Trey like the whole setup. So hey, it's no shade. Shout out Trey. Yeah, so I remember my roommate Darius, my first roommate Darius, shout him out. We just kind of had this tension, and it wasn't like it was just like we had this kind of beef.
Darius
And
who?
I remember I
Darius
would
who?
have, huh?
Darius who?
Can I say his last name?
Girl, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Put it in the
And put it in
private.
the
Remember
private chat.
Darius?
I know two. And
Okay.
the first one that's come to my mind, he was a photographer.
Hi, Rose.
Yes.
Oh, girl. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Remember, he was my first roommate. We had this kind of beef, like we didn't like each other, and I think a little bit of it was just like people were kind of clowning him, like, "Oh, you with him, you with that gay dude." Yeah, so we kind of had this beef, and it was like it got really messy. Like we were talking about like fighting each other, but I remember it got to the point where I would have company and not tell him, so he would just like walk in on it, and then just have to.
Oh,
And then
bitch, you wanted to fight.
just right. Like I would just have company and he would just walk in like mid in the act. He would just walk in and have to.
You're talking about cute little Darius. He wore the glasses and he became a photographer.
Yes, that's just what people that is. Don't make me weak.
Wait, so was it given very much?
Okay.
It was given, you know what I'm saying? Like it was given. I'm telling you, and I wouldn't tell him anything. Like I wouldn't say anything. Like so he would just come in.
Well, I want to be fair. So Josh wasn't my first roommate. I had another roommate. I won't say his name just because I'm just gonna keep it that. But the reason how Josh became my roommate was because that particular roommate, he went and told RHA, which is like the Residential Housing Authority. He went and told them that he felt uncomfortable being in the room with me because he felt that I was going to try to touch him or mess with him while he was asleep.
Oh my God.
And quiet as it's kept, the reason why I left my roommate, Miss Thing.
Hold on, Niece, I wasn't finished.
Oh, go ahead, girl. Well, let me go. Hurry up and finish then. No,
because if anyone knew my roommate before Josh, and I'll show y'all a picture on the back end. If anyone knew, the fact that you gave yourself that much gas in your car to think you was going to go forth,
you stupid,
and think I was going to touch you, that was an insult to me,
girl.
And I remember coming from class because I needed to get something, and they were packing their things. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, like I was like, you about to go? He was like, yeah, I'm about to get another room. And I'm like, okay. So me like not putting two and two together because I'm just thinking he was just packing up to go, whatever. Niece came back that night, room was cleared. I said, well, what's going on? So shout out to my RA at the time, Ty, his fine ass. Ty came to me and he was like, Tuki, he was like, I fuck with you. He was like, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you straight up that this is what happened. And I was like, Ty, what? He was like, yes. He was just like, I know you're not that type of person. Like, da 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 da. Do you know my brothers? So they were my brothers because I was in this program, Aspiring Eagles Academy. My brothers, they didn't know about it. So they came to the room because they seen that the door was open. Me and Ty was talking. So they was like, well, what the fuck going on? So I told them what was happening. Do you know that they were trying to fight this man on my behalf?
Oh, no, that's not good.
Because you sat there and you really lied on my name like that. And it was just this whole thing. So it was a learning experience for sure. But it also showed me like, my brothers really had my back. So shout out to them too. But go ahead.
Shame on him for saying that just because he's uncomfortable with who he is. But I left my last roommate, and I won't say his name because I don't remember it. Every time, I am not exaggerating. Every time I would walk in that room from class, from the cafeteria, I don't know what y'all call it, the cafeteria, from the library, from study hall, from work. Every time I opened that door, that man was playing rock, paper, scissors and looking at that computer screen, trying to hurry up. And like it would get to the point where I would walk in and be like, oh, All right. But it got to the point where I would walk in and be like, girl, go ahead and just finish. It's okay. And so I had to immediately be like, look, y'all, this man is jerking his cock entirely too much for me.
No,
Um, can I please get another room? I don't give a fuck if it's not, if it, I don't give a fuck what you call it is, boo, boo, boo. Because at first they weren't trying to do it. And I was like, every time I walk in the room, this man is masturbating. Can I please change my room? And then they were like, oh,
Did he know
okay.
you was gay? Did he know you was gay?
Of course, girl, look at me.
So I guess I'm curious. Do you think he deliberately did what he did because he knew you were gay?
I don't
right.
know. I don't know, but
No,
I
that
don't
was
Girl, was
my
know.
he?
next question. That was
Girl,
my
I didn't
next
want to be.
question.
I didn't want to be a part of his video.
was he cute?
Absolutely not.
I feel like I remember this story, but I can't remember who your roommate was. That's the part that's tearing me up. Golly, I remember this though.
No, I am weak. That is crazy.
Hi, Ruby.
Wow. He said he was jacking his cock too.
Yeah,
Girl,
pretty
But
that
much
when
it.
you said rock, I love rock. How cute is rock, paper, scissors? Because I'm going in my head.
girl.
I'm like, rock, paper, scissors.
And
I'm like,
shoot. Okay,
wait a
don't
minute.
forget
So
shoot.
so you were roomed with the gooner, right?
Yes, a serial
I
gooner.
I kind of I don't know. I kind of y'all gonna eat me up. I don't know. I kind of wanted that experience. I don't know.
But
Yeah.
Dwayne,
But I'm a
if
gooner.
you would
I'm a
have seen,
gooner. You know what I mean?
if
Like
you
I'm
would
a
have,
gooner as
Dwayne,
well.
okay, this is how I was. If you were in the room gooning and everything, girl, I would have never asked for a room switch, honey. Quiet as a damn girl. I would have came in and I would have said, girl, what you doing? Go ahead and put that in out.
I'd be like,
But if you would have seen,
I would
if you
I would have said you need help.
okay, well,
right,
right. But
right.
if you would have seen, I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude, but no,
Girl,
That
absolutely not.
is
describe
so.
them. Describe them.
I can't remember. I don't know, girl. I don't know. There's so much stuff in my head.
I
I have a
remember
I
this.
have a horrible memory.
It's
Wait a
okay.
minute. So Joshua was roomed with a gooner. I'm crying.
And I was roomed with a piece of shit. girl, girl.
You know, what, I will admit my thing was, with my former roommate. I think I was just. I wish I would have taken the time to really have a one-on-one conversation with them. I'm coming from New York. He's coming from the boons of North Carolina. I think I was just so different. And so I wish I would have taken a moment to be like, listen, let's have a conversation. But it just ended up getting really messy. And I think that, and I was just so grateful because my next room, I had like a solo room for like damn near an entire semester, I think until like the last couple of months. But I had a solo room, so things happened for a reason. But we don't went on a tangent. As far as the film is concerned,
I'm
yeah. So
crying.
look, I think people do sleep around for places to stay. We definitely saw that in the film where Bad Boy Brad to was trying to use that, advantageously.
Come on,
To
advantageous.
yeah.
Mm.
All right, so where are we next? All right, so
Okay, so they get caught.
yes,
Well, first and foremost, so epidural
I love
epidural
that name.
is pregnant, honey. Hence the name. So
I love that.
epidural is a drag queen. For those of you who haven't watched the film, she's a drag queen, honey. So obviously she can't get pregnant, but I think it's very hilarious that this is a thing. Anyway, so the mother of the house, Miss Queef Latina, comes in and sort of like, what's going on in here, princess? Brought a man into my house. I thought I told y'all no sex. That sort of like alluding to the fact that there's rules in this house. Like you just can't stay here and you know just stay here just cuz like there's rules that you have certain rules you have to follow, just like you would in a traditional family.
Yes.
um so she takes them both out of the room. They're in the kitchen and he's trying to like Bradley is trying to explain himself, and Queef is just very is glistening gay listening for oh, and not really paying attention to what he has to say. And Princess is giving very much, mother, I was, let me, him stay. And then Bradley finally says, well, I was actually trying to, inquire about joining your house. And then that's when Queef is like, oh, You know, well, I do need a little help. We do need a little bit more trophies. In her mind, I'm sure this is what's going on. And she's like, well, you still can't stay here. And he's like, that's fine. I'm gonna stay in my car, until you give me the opportunity. Hold on. How many of your family members are locked up? Girl. Sorry, I thought that was a genuine question, girl.
It really be you.
Sorry, I just be clicking. Sorry, everybody. So anyway, so Bradley leaves, and I just wanted to talk about Queef says, after she chews Princess out, she's like, eat, girl, and this is what's on the table.
Yeah, listen.
A Twinkie.
No, ma'am.
And,
No, ma'am.
and some Hostess cake.
I was about to say, please get it.
Baby, listen, sometimes that Twinkie and the Moses cake get you right. So here's the thing. When you are a mother or father of the house, you have the response. Like, you can't just be one just to be one. You have the responsibility to take care of, your members, the kids, right? And so we see Queef have this very maternal instinct, right? Or this kind of maternal persona, because again, you're not just a mother because you're a mother, right? What makes you a mother, what makes you a father of a house is really how well you can provide. When you accept that role, when you accept that responsibility, you have to, take care. So God forbid, if I was ever displaced or whatever, I would have to hit up my father. Hey, can I come stay with you? You know what I mean? And he doesn't have to say yes, but again, as a father of the house, what can you do? We've done family dinners at the house. We go over to the house, we chill, we key. But yeah, as a father, it's his role to make sure the members, the kids of the house, is all good. So we definitely see that with Queef. One thing I want to talk about, even in that interaction that you mentioned, Joshua, I find Princess was just so mean and disrespectful, right? So they allude to Queef not walking ballroom anymore.
Right.
Okay. And this is something that Princess said to bad boy Brad at the ball, like, oh, that's the mother of the house. She hasn't walked in years. She's immediately being shady. And then when they have this confrontation in the kitchen, she says, well, you're just jealous because you haven't walked in a while or in years. The body does forget. And so she has this moment with the mother that's very disrespectful, very mean, very I just didn't like it. You I hated it. But she has this moment with the mother that's like, listen, you know, uh he could come in, he can be sex siren, Rich. He is very sexy though, right? What's the name of this
He's
guy?
very sexy. Ephraim Sykes in real life, that man is fine.
Yeah.
Quiet as a scamp. Let's do a pen.
Do it.
All of them fine in real life, like to
Yes.
this day.
To this day.
To this day, they are fine.
Yes.
Especially
Extremely.
Princess in real life.
Especially Princess. Especially Philip
Dwayne, y'all favor so much.
No, you stupid. No, you don't.
Y'all favor in real time. I was like, God, this man is like, he's a beautiful man here, but in real time today, at the age of
yes, he's so
42,
buff.
that man is fine.
He's fat. He's so fat, isn't it?
God, that man fine. But I wanted to ask this question though, Dwayne.
Yeah.
What do you think it takes to be? Well, I guess you kind of already said, but give me 2 words to describe what it takes to be a mother or a father in gay world.
Security, security and discipline. And I'm gonna tell you why I chose those words. Security, one, because again, it's your responsibility to be able to, and I'm just gonna say it, provide for your kids, provide for your members, right? Some people may say, "Oh no, it's not." I've heard, this discourse on it, but at the end of it, think about an actual family. Your mother, your father is supposed to provide for you. So I'm not saying, that you have to be a walking doormat. But again, God forbid, if I get displaced, if I had to go right now, if whatever happened, house burned down, whatever the case may be, it's cold, whatever, I would call up my father. Hey, can I come over? Can I stay the night? Help me figure this out, right? So you definitely need to have a sense of security. Generally, all fathers, all mothers, whatever, they have their own place. It also takes discipline. And I'm going to say that because ballroom can be very predatory. And there are, there are horror stories of abuse, of rape, in this community. People, young people being taken advantage of.
Wait,
Not everybody.
how do we get up to the church?
You, you stupid. Look, all I'm saying is when you, girl, they're
How
gonna
do we
tear
get
you
up?
up. They're gonna tear
No,
you
but
up for that comment. They're gonna tear
no,
you
but
up for that comment.
seriously,
But look, but no. But seriously, in the community, you have to have discipline because obviously, people are sexy. We're all same sex attracted, whatever the case may be. You have to have discipline as a mother or a father to be like, listen, I'm not going to make a move on my children, right? There has to be a clear boundary, right? And if you're just joining or out of the context and you're hearing make a move on your children, this is no Epstein shit, okay? We're not talking about what's going on, But
Girl, if you're just joining, catch the playback, ho.
right, catch a playback because we not talking about what it sounded like. Girl, I don't want the FBI knocking on my door, ho. They're gonna clip this one scene. They're gonna clip this one scene. We all gonna have interviews tomorrow morning, bitch. Excuse, are you Tookie Tucker? Okay, come with us, please.
the category is
Right,
jailhouse realness.
right. Come with us, please. No, but seriously, like I said, it takes discipline because you have to have that boundary where it's like, listen, we're not doing that. And we even see in the film where part of the rules we talked about the rule. Joshua talked about the rules. Part of the rules is no sex between members, no sex in the house, and that gets messy even in actual ballroom. But if you're going to be a mother, if you're going to be a father, you cannot act on your attraction to your members. So like I said, it takes security and discipline.
Speaking of jailhouse realness, I thought that was a real nasty segue.
Right.
um, Josh, did you want to touch on this scene with him on the bus singing?
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that. That's another one of my favorite. Well, not sorry,
Girl,
another
you like
great
the whole
track.
movie.
So after Bradley says, "I'm gonna sleep in the car," until you give me opportunity. Boo, boo, boo. This is when Queef sort of just goes back to her room, gets ready for bed to prepare for the next day because Miss Thing is going to go see her baby daddy, honey, who happens to be in jail. Oh. So that was just the song "I'm Willing." Check it out. Really watch this film. It has amazing music. If you like musicals, you are literally going to love this film. Especially if
I
you're
love
a
how
sweetie.
me and Joshua both live for this film, and Tuki's just like,
Tuki doesn't like musicals. Tuki does not like musicals.
Tuki's just like, what I'm saying? I love how me just.
Tuki
That's
does not
not
like musicals.
true. That's not true. I think I'm gonna get to my thoughts in part two. Let's
Okay.
continue.
All right. So yes. So Queef does have a relationship. He says, or they say, right? I think it's they, or mother, or whatever case.
Mhm.
Queef says the ring is pending, right? So we see Queef the next day, go to jail, right? So Queef's partner has been in jail for 6 months. 6 months in a snare. He gets there, and Queef is like, "Hey, baby doll," and the partner goes, no baby doll in here, no baby doll in
None of
here,
that gay shit in here.
right? None of that
No,
gay shit
Exactly.
in here.
no. What she
What,
said was, "What's the tea, baby doll?"
what's the tea? And the guy, he's like,
Mother
none of
was
that
living
gay
her
shit.
fantasy.
Um, but they have this obviously this conversation. They never address, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. They never address how he got in there. But it's alluded by the other members that he's a repeat offender. He's in and out, in and out, in and out. So Queef loves her a piece of jail trade. Do you now? Let me ask you two this: do y'all like jail trade?
Oh, I kind of had a similar question. Do I like jail trade? No. To answer your question, no. If you're currently um incarcerated, I'm probably not going to be interested. Like, I don't want a pen pal. Oh, not shout out to Craig. Not that kind of pen pal. Um, I'm a pen pal, but not that kind of pen pal. Yeah, I'm not. Mm-mm. Nah, you got to get your priorities together. You got to focus on that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Do your time. Whatever. Do what you got to do. Work through whatever you got to work through. Work on yourself, honey. Mm-mm.
Girl, they gonna get me for saying this, but this is my truth.
I already know what you say.
I grew up. Josh, I told you.
No, but
Nah,
I have
keep
a
going,
feeling.
girl. Wait, no, I'm
Girl,
interested. I don't know.
speak your
I don't know the tea.
truth.
What happened?
I remember growing up, and I wanted to lose my virginity so bad. I wanted to lose it so bad, and
Girl, finish your statement, girl.
Girl, I'm nervous.
Girl,
Wait, I'm nervous. Wait, go ahead. Go
you
ahead.
gotta finish that. I already know where this is going.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, I wanted to lose my virginity so bad, and I was like, man. And at the time, I was like, my mama swear I was bad. I wasn't bad. I just was. I guess you said I was not. I guess I was disrespectful, and I was very mouthy.
Oh,
And she wanted to send me to. Y'all remember that show Beyond Scared Straight?
Yes.
yes.
So she wanted to sign me up for the show. So I used to watch the show, and I used to be in the background like, oh my god, he is so cute, or he's so fine, da da da. And I remember growing up saying, I wish I could go to jail just for one night so I could lose my virginity.
This rich here. I am shocked. I am unnerved. I am embarrassed. Let me stop. You know what? Here's the thing. So no. So I want to thank you for sharing that because
I mean,
no. Listen, look, that's the truth. But I'm also
yeah.
going to I'm going to be honest here as well. Can I be honest? Um,
No, be for real.
no.
Right. Okay.
No, but for real. No, but for real.
No, but
Listen,
seriously.
okay, we talked about gooning earlier. Obviously, to goon, you need porn. You need material.
Oh,
You
God,
don't
I know
need,
what
but
you're about to
it's
say.
supplements. Anyway, I'm taking a long way. Are y'all familiar with ATLT?
Yes.
His jail content, because he's in prison for about 10 years,
Mm.
or was. I have to check the latest on him, but he got into some mess. ATLT is a young brother, and he caught, unfortunately, in the throes of the law, living too fast, too quickly. Anyway, sentenced to 10 years in the big house. He still does OnlyFans from prison.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is hot. Have you seen the video?
Wait, how does that?
Well, some prisons you can have your phones and stuff.
Yeah.
He's in one of the prisons that he has a phone.
Have you seen the videos too?
Bitch, I live.
Nah.
Y'all gonna have to send me this because just for research purposes. Cause I don't know what's happening.
But here's
it's so interesting.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying no. So he's in the jailhouse, and I guess he pays the other members. So he kind of obscures their face, whatever, for their privacy, whatever. Oh. But he's making videos with actual incarcerated, inmates, fellow inmates,
and with the security guard.
It does it for me on a cold night, girl.
Does he get into it with the COs too?
We don't see that.
So obviously from what I've seen, no. But it blows my mind. Now I remember I was reading a comment on the video. Somebody had left a comment. It was like, well, yeah, this is a great fantasy, but I guess that person had also been to prison. His comment was, it could be hard to clean, okay, and hygiene is also, could be an issue. Mm-hmm. Now, I've always wondered about how do they prepare in prison for
Same. I really want to know.
You just take a shit and take a shower.
Yeah, but the way he be pounding them knees, ain't no way.
Oh my. Okay, y'all have to. Y'all can show me that.
Girl,
Hold
there's
on.
no way.
Let's take a brief break and not.
So that's actually a very, very great segue because I want Josh, were you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
Because I have here the song that Queef Latina was singing on the way there was I'm Willing. So I wrote this down in conjunction with the scene of Queef Latina being at the prison cell. The willingness to wait for a man that's doing a bid. I don't want to harp on that too much because I want to give y'all some tea, but the willingness to wait on a man that's doing a bid. Would you do it?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna be honest here.
No, be for real.
I have actually dated someone who, you know, he went to jail. But it's because like while we were dating, he ended up in jail for I guess I don't want to well I guess just in case people know me or whatever, I don't want to tell everybody business
Girl,
because
get to the point, get to the point.
this is pretty recent. But it was just for what it was, and I was just like, eh. And we continued, seeing each other after he got out. But as far as somebody who's doing it big, like 5 years, 10 years,
Well, no, Niece, because then that's different. Did he go to jail or did he go to prison?
the guy in the movie,
The guy you're talking about.
jail. That's just jail.
So that don't count. He ain't do a bid. I'm talking about someone that's going
Right.
to
That's what I'm
prison.
saying. As far as somebody who's doing that, 5 years, 10 years. No, I'm sorry.
So you're not gonna be the Remy mine?
She's stupid.
No.
No, you're gonna be the papoose.
I mean,
Remember,
Papoose, you're not
Remy
gonna
was
be
the
the
one in
papoose?
jail.
You're not gonna be the papoose?
I'm not holding a bag. I'm no ma'am.
You're not gonna be Carisha. You're not gonna be Young Miami and
You
hold
need
the
to
group
do some
down.
soul searching. You need to find out who you are because clearly, something is going. And like I said, it depends on what it is. Like if you're doing something that, like, I'm sorry, if it's something like that, embezzlement or what, I don't know. I don't want to.
He probably just caught the bad luck of the draw. Maybe the judge won't feeling well that day.
No, you stupid. But see, what was he doing to get in front of the judge?
Girl, he just did a little petty crime. Just a little petty crime.
Well, look, you know what?
Get 3 years?
Huh?
Wait, sorry, he had 6 months. I don't know if I could do 6 months, girl.
That's all he had.
Yeah, no.
Well, remember, by the time, in this narrative,
like that anyway.
When we meet him, he only has 2 weeks to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, look, if you could wait 6 months, you could wait, 2 weeks.
But I'm glad that we're talking about this because niggas really not shit and we're gonna get there. But girl, sorry, go ahead.
So this is what I was going to say, right? So you're talking about ATL Tay and what he does on OF, this scene. It made me think about what just happened here recently here in Chicago. So here's a little Chicago tea.
Uh-oh.
There's a guy, he's on Facebook. His name is Skin Bone. He's like a comedian or something. He just did an interview with a guy who's notoriously known in Chicago for exposing DL dudes.
Oh my God.
So in this interview, Skin Bone was pretty much asking like, why do you expose them? And so the guy reveals, he was like, I don't expose them with the intent to expose them. And it's only happened 3 times. 2 out of the 3 times he's exposed the dudes. And then on the one of the 3 times, it wasn't him exposing, it was more or less him confirming. So I'm gonna give you like the synopsis really, really quickly with this man because I thought it was very interesting. This man, when you look at him, he does not open his mouth, he does not say not one word. When you look at him, he looks like a straight man, He talks about, him being with DL guys, but the fact that he's not necessarily attracted to DL men, he's more attracted to masculinity. Long story short, the more recent how he got like famous now is that he just exposed this one guy who went to jail, did 6 months. The dude ended up getting him a lawyer to help the bid come down, invested in him getting a lawyer. Mind you, him and the dude was in a relationship prior to being in jail. Him and the dude was in a relationship while he was in jail. The dude gets out of jail and tells him, look, bro, I don't want to do this shit with you no more. I'm going back to bitches. So the dude is just kind of like, oh, okay, go ahead over there. While you're going over there, I'm going to put out the receipts of this is who you are. That's a very dangerous game to play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A
Why would you
very
do?
And the man tells us explicitly in this interview, he tells Skin Bone, but I'm saying us as the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I only fuck with killers. I only fuck with, like, you gotta have at least, two guns. You gotta have somebody's on you. And I'm like, that is such an interesting take to say out your mouth so boldly that that's the type of man that you only fuck with. But then you come out your neck and say, you play with me, I'm going to expose you. But then I also understand this man because he said it's 2026. Why are we still DL? Why are you DL? What is the worst that can happen to you for being who you are? Do you know that was the realest thing I've ever heard anybody say?
Well, I mean, people are battling stuff within themselves. Like everyone is not comfortable with who they are, and I get the point of like being who you like being mad. I guess not being angry that someone is not being who they are, but just being I guess annoyed that someone is not being who they are. Because they don't really have to answer to people. And I know you're specifically talking about people who are adults, who live on their own, who don't really need financial support from their parents anymore. You're just talking about um people who just go in their everyday lives pretending like they're not gay when they're very much
You
they're
used
still.
you used a very interesting word, battling. I almost equate that to the word struggling. What do
Mhm.
you what do you think what do you think the battle is, or why there is the battle?
um Battling with I guess their own security, girl. Like people are not, like I said, a lot these people who happen to be DL are not comfortable, or usually are ashamed, or usually are embarrassed about being attracted to the same gender. Not necessarily battling their homosexual demons, but battling or wrestling with their identity and who
I
they
don't
are.
like the fact that you called the homosexual the demon.
Well,
Why the homosexual demon?
I'm 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 using that because that's what the church says, and we're usually when people condemn homosexuality, it's typically looked at as a negative light in the Christian church or in the Christian religion.
Well, you know what? I respect people's autonomy. I'm not one for outing anybody or that whole thing. Um, the thing about DL men, hell, even DL women. It's their choice to. Some people aren't even DL. Some people are just discreet, right? Where it's just like they don't need to, wear it on a
Explain the
t-shirt.
difference.
They don't
I
need
was
to,
like, what's the difference?
because when you are DL, you don't, you know, you don't identify with same sex, same gender activity, right? When you are DL, you don't identify with. Whereas when you are discreet, you'll identify with it, but when and how you choose to, right? So, you know, maybe some people know, maybe some people don't. You're not the type of person when you are discreet. You're not the type of person where, people are going to know, oh, yeah, that person is gay. That person is. So when you are discreet, it's not so much that you are hiding it, but
But you're hiding it in certain spaces.
yeah, you can say that. But
I
again, it's
think
just it's one
it's
of those
funny.
things where if people, you just simply don't want everybody to know. It's nobody's business. Like you're not gonna you know, walk in the pride parade. Like you're not going to do any of that. But at the end of the day, you can be able to say, listen, I'm gay or I'm bi, or you have same sex attraction.
But I
Whereas
don't think we're
DL,
talking about discretion. I think we're talking about the ones who are married, or the ones who got their 3 kids, their picket fence, and their green grass. I'm talking about the ones who you'll see in the church, you'll see in the club, you'll see down there to the Bojangles.
You see,
You walk the streets. This is a
but you know
straight
what?
man.
And my thing is, they deserve to maintain that privacy, right?
No,
If
I
you
disagree.
I no, I
It
think they
depends.
should.
It depends on.
Why
Hold on.
can't
I think it depends because if you have a wife and kids, and you're living the traditional quote unquote life that you're told that you need to have, and then you're going back behind your wife's back, and you're blowing out the backs of all these bottoms, all these boys, honey, then
Or getting yours blown
or getting
out.
yours blown out, right?
Okay.
Which is usually the case.
oh,
Um, so I don't think that's they deserve.
well
You
listen,
don't think what does like you're
I
not
don't think they
finishing your
deserve
thought.
privacy.
Oh, okay, I agree. They don't.
But
I
I
I
don't agree with exposing.
I don't agree with the exposing either. I don't agree with that.
But you
I'm
should be. Go ahead, girl.
I'm on the side of if you are DL, again, to what that guy was saying, it's 2026. If you are as real as of a man as you say you are, why are we fucking at 2 o'clock in the morning? Why is this the thing?
Well,
Why
it's
are you
because they're allowing it to happen too. The person who's the secret, the
well
best
that's
kept secret, they're allowing it. They're allowing it to happen. They're aware that this person is married. They're aware that they're letting it go on. They could very easily say, "No, sir, you have 3 kids at home and a wife, and you want to have like, no, sir, I don't want to be involved with
they
that."
could say that. Yes, they could. But you also have to think about the availability of men who
Or
are out and who are proud. Girl, that's not their type. Their type is, like the man said, is masculinity. And it's
right, and then I guess a
unfortunate
lot of
that
them, yeah, don't tell them.
right.
Mhm.
So Dwayne, what were you gonna say? Because I feel like we're at a disagreement here.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I respect that autonomy. I think DL people, and I include people because, like I said, it could be men, it could be women.
Yeah, and I'm glad
I
you
think
said that.
they do deserve to have that privacy, right? Have that. Now, I think you guys are looking at it from an aspect of acting on it, right? Some people can have same sex attraction and maybe they've acted on it in the past, but obviously when they've settled down, they've stopped acting on it, right? Some people may have that attraction and just may never act on it. It's not about, well, what do they have to lose or what are they afraid of? It's their privacy, and they should be able to maintain that. Not everybody has to walk around and have the flat. Not
And
everybody
they
has to do
don't.
that. My
And they
thing
don't.
is,
We
my
don't.
thing is, first of all, dealing with DL partners can be very dangerous. It can be fatal, right? And I understand that we kind of like, glamorize it and, because of the whole aspect of masculinity, and I get that. But, just, caution, just beware. But like I said, I think to that point, again, they deserve to have that autonomy, right? Because it's up to you to say, you know what, listen, your dear, I respect that, but nah, I'm not going to mess with you. Nah, I'm not going to, oh, you're married, you got whatever the case may be going on. Nah, that's not my stilo. That's up to you. But again, why ruin what somebody else has going on, particularly if it's a physical thing, if it's a sexual thing? Now, look, you mentioned married and kids and stuff. It it can be dangerous. Like I feel bad. Like if I feel bad for the woman. Okay, and that's where I say I check my responsibility. Like okay, well look, you got your wife. That's not what I'm or however you feeling. But I mean, like I think if men, whoever, if they want to be DL, let them be DL. And keep your damn mouth shut. Don't
But I think that's where the problems come in where, and this is a conversation for another day, and I can't remember who I had it with, but that's where the problem comes in from my observation, where women have problems with gays because of the DLs. That is why they equate having HIV and having AIDS and the disease originated from the gay boys. And it's like, well, no, ma'am, we're not having sex with you. That the DL man is having sex with you. So whatever's being transmitted, it's clearly not coming from this punk to your pussy. It's him. He's the problem. And so
Well,
that's why I'm just kind of like, if we alleviate the middleman, sir, I would like for you to come out of the closet, so that way all parties involved could be aware of the situation, and give that lady the right to say, you know what, I understand that this is who you are and this is what you want to do. Allow me to say yes or no, that's what I want to deal with. That Let me choose that that's what I want to deal with because I love you in spite of. I literally just went through this with someone. With someone.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, keep going.
Girl, I thought you was gonna tell it. Girl, I thought you was gonna spill your tea. Sorry, I want to touch on something Dwayne said really quickly because I know we're kind of running out of time, you all. Um, you said that not everybody has to, and I think it's so funny when people say this. Not everybody has to wave the rainbow flag around. Who is doing that unless it's at a gay pride parade? I think when people say that, I think they're just they're trying to come come off very defensive to the fact that people are literally just happy existing. I don't think anybody's waving a rainbow flag around. I think people are just being who they are, and people see that as a problem for some reason. Um, yeah.
I think for me, so I oftentimes label myself to be homophobic, because sometimes, Dwayne, you weren't on the call. We had a conversation the other day. I came across a new term. You ready for this? You ready?
yeah.
The term is now, we are now labeled as LGBTQIA, the number two S plus. Okay? For those who didn't catch it the first time, we are LGBTQIA, the number two S plus.
I'm not the LGQ, the B, the QQIA number sign, dollar sign. I'm not any of that.
So
Oh,
I bring that up to say, to your point, the ones who are waving the flags around, it comes to a point for me. It's just like, okay, okay. Um, the straights, the cis hets, the scientists, and then the ones who are waving the flags are sitting in someone's boardroom, and they're coming up with more and more letters. And Josh and I have this theory that in the next 5 years, they're going to be pulling from the Greek alphabet to add to this acronym to try and label us. And so for me, it's just kind of like, be who you are. It's your pride, right? Exist because you are a human and you have the very right to do so. But there comes a time where your existence or your pride becomes a bit what's the word, evasive, I feel. So much so, like with white privilege, it's just kind of like, okay, girl, we get it, girl, you're white, you got your privilege, but you don't have to come into our areas and do that. You don't have to do that, because now it becomes a bit of a problem. Um, what's the word? Appropriation. You become this culture vulture. You become this you become this spectacle. It just becomes a lot. It becomes a lot for me.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
I
uh-huh.
I think you both make wonderful points uh, about it, and I'm gonna address Josh's things first. When I say waving the rainbow flag, of course that's being hyperbolic, that's being dramatic. But I still stand by that. I mean, I think, like I said, there's DL and there's discreet. And I could work with either one. 'Cause like I said, at the end of the day, it comes down to what I'm willing to accept, how I'm willing to participate. Like I said, I respect people's autonomy. I respect people's, I was going to say willingness. But again, if you're a DL, if you're discreet, if that's your thing, that's going to be a thing. I think because I know not to expect more from you. If this is just going to be physical kind of setup where we meet, we fuck, we have a good time, whatever the case may be, then that's what it'll be. Uh,
Dwayne,
and
do you want love?
I have love. It's not
Okay.
about wanting love. I mean, I have love.
Period.
Okay, well let me rework my question. Are you in a relationship where the love is romanticized?
Yeah, several.
Okay. I know that's right.
We talked about this the first show about the
We
polygamy
did.
and all that. Yeah, several.
Oh, we probably just didn't talk about it. I think we brushed over it because I this is news to me. This,
So, so my thing is, like I said, dealing with discreet, whatever the case may be, it works for me because the same privacy that you're expecting from me, I'm expecting from you. This is from somebody that is out, right? This is from somebody that, I am waving the rainbow flag. Like I have no problem being like, yeah, my partner. But yeah, the same privacy that you want is the same that I want. So that's why I respect and can get along with DL brothers, discreet brothers, whatever the case may be. Because that's what I want for myself. To your point, Tuki, there's this fella. His moniker is the DL Whisperer, and we've seen him on social
girl,
media. Okay, why y'all gagging? Why y'all gagged?
girl.
Why y'all gagged? I've seen him in the Tasha K interview. I don't subscribe to shit like that, and I pray for that young man. I hope when it's all said and done, I pray for his safety, his well being, because I don't know what he gets out of that. I don't know what obviously money or whatever, clout, whatever. But that's not a game that I would play. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't respect that because if men are, what I'm saying, if you're, like I said, if you're going to participate, fine. If you're not, fine. You know what I'm saying? Why does it have to be, oh, it's over, or you know what, this person, so now I'm going to expose you? I don't agree. So I am a safe space for DL men. I am a safe space for discreet men, and I hope to continue to be that. Whether it's platonic or not, it doesn't always have to be sexual.
Right.
Sometimes, what I'm saying, a DL brother just may want somebody to, that understands what they're going through, that understands that same sex attraction, just be like, yo, so it doesn't even have to be sexual all the time, right? I think we've been talking about it in the context of sex, but it doesn't even have to be.
No, I agree with that.
Right. And speaking of safe space, you all, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. We do have to go ahead and wrap things up, but be sure to follow us for more, honey. Subscribe, share. We're live on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You all, please hit the thumbs up, like it, share it with your friends, clip it up. Make reels, make shorts, TikToks, whatever the fuck. And hopefully you can come back to our safe space next time as we discuss the rest of the film. Leave it on the floor, honey.
Absolutely. So where are we leaving off then?
So we're leaving off when
At the jail scene.
yes. So after Queef has finished, and we'll give you all a recap when we come back, honey. Okay.
Yes, we are going to give you guys a recap, and you know what? Next weekend, the weekend of Valentine's Day. Shout out everybody. Speaking of love, I know we touched on love. We should definitely do something for that. So maybe we'll chat on the back end. But speaking of balls, I actually walk a ball next weekend. I'll be walking the body category, Mr. Freeze, and so I have my custom made outfit currently in the works. Grand prize $6,000.
Oh,
Wow.
So
okay.
wish your boy luck next weekend. Because yeah, I'm trying to go for that money. I've been in the gym, I've been trying to work out, and I actually had practice tonight, but I'm here with my Judies. Shout out my Judies. Shout out, no, but for real. But no, I am super excited, and next time we talk, we'll continue the rest of the movie, and then because we'll meet obviously again next Wednesday. The ball is on Saturday. And so the following week, hopefully, I can have some good news and some good pictures for you guys.
All right. All right, you all be sure to check that bio, hit the link. It's going to have all of our social media links on there. I'm Joshua Bloke on everything. We got TukiTucker.com and we got Dwayne McBean. All the links are in the bio. Okay, you all. Thank y'all so much. Anything else, y'all?